Hey again, it's me, Boo, for part 12 of my niche fragrance collection. A couple of them I'm going to do now are some pretty intense fragrances, not necessarily high-end niche or anything, but they are definitely niche and they are definitely intense. So I figured I'd just lump them together and go from there. First one I want to talk about, let me get us on the right page here, was one that was in my cupboard. I don't know what happened to the lid. I lost a lot of bits and pieces. But this is called Habanita by Molinard. And this is a very, I have it sprayed on a piece of paper here to try to remember. This is a kind of a, I want to say a graveyard rose kind of smell. I'm sure other people would that smell Habanita are like, what is she talking about? It doesn't smell anything like that. But to me, in my nose and my interpretation, I don't know if it's rose necessarily, but it's some kind of floral, but it smells like it's old and dusty and kind of dirty, but in a really good way. I mean, I know how that sounds, but this Habanita is one of those, I think is kind of a kimchi fragrance, even though I love it, and I loved it right off the bat when I re-smelled it. It's very different, but like I said, it kind of reminds me of it's like, okay, this is going to sound horribly gross and graphic, but it's like if you were to have to exhume a grave and you opened it up and okay, I don't want to say there was body inside. Say it was an empty grave that had been buried for a long time, because I don't smell any rotting corpse or anything in this. But it reminds me as if some old roses, or some roses had been buried in an old wooden coffin under the ground for many years and then dug up, so that the roses would take on a little bit of the wood, old wood smell and a little bit of the earthy smell. That's what it reminds me of. And I know that doesn't sound very appealing. My analogies sometimes can be really off the wall, but that's what it reminds me of. But it's really a cool, gothic, kind of really different smell. And this is one that I think started a long time ago. I want to say early 1900s, and then was reformulated. I don't know what the original smells like, but this one is really nice, and I am totally going to wear this again. I don't remember ever wearing this, actually. It's like full bottle. But anyway, it wasn't my cup of tea back then, but it sure is now. And I'm going to tell you what's in it. Top notes are orange blossom, raspberry, peach, and bergamot. Middle notes are lilac, orris root, jasmine, heliotrope, ylang ylang, and rose. Okay. Base notes are leather, amber, musk, benzoin, vanilla, oak moss, and cedar. Okay, well, there's the cedar. The cedar is the coffin. There's the rose. And I'm not sure. Maybe it's the orris root, a little bit of the musk, and the oak moss that give it that kind of earthy, old kind of a smell. But it really is one that if you like different smells, because I really like different unique smells. So I like, something other than your fruity florals and things like that. This is gothic, and this is something I picture a really sophisticated gothic London woman to be wearing when she goes to a funeral. I mean, really hot, classy, and sexy, of course. But just this gothic, because London people are always, really hip. And not just London people, but British people in general. Just really hip and really dress and look and smell very individual. That's my stereotype, and I mean no disrespect. I'm totally saying it as a compliment. And that's why I picked a London woman. is just because she would be ahead of the times, but it'd be something she'd still want to make a statement, but would want to wear something appropriate for the venue. So good funeral perfume, people. Anyway, it's much better than that. I don't think I do it justice. Anyway, I love it. Next one I'm going to go to here is another niche designer, or a niche house. And I really, really like this one. It's a little different. This is another one of my cupboard finds. And I understand then why I put it away, but it's totally going to be on my shelf now. And this is Ombre Russe, or Ruse, by Parfum D Empire. I don't think you can probably see the words very well, but that's what it is. And this, my dogs just went nuts. This is well, I'm actually got it on my arm here, because this is a very, I want to say kind of a dirty amber, kind of a gothic, dry, cathedral kind of amber. I don't explain this stuff very well. I just don't have Katie Puckrick's way with words and everything. She's always so good at explaining everything, and me, I'm just telling it like I smell it, you know. And for me, this is in the dry down, it smells a lot sweeter out of the bottle. And it has kind of a boozy quality on the top notes, but when it dries down, it's really lovely. But it is kind of intense. And both of these have really good sillage, but if you use too much, they can be impolite sillages. So they can be pretty overpowering for those around you. You have to be careful. And they both last really well, just so you know. So back to Ombre Russe, or Russe, or I never know how to say. I'm going to say Russe, just because I'm going to make a decision. And it's really weird for me as a Sagittarius to do that, but I'm going to do it. So Ombre Russe by Parfum D Empire. And I did tell you this was Habanita by Molinard, right? Okay, and there's a close-up of it so you can see it. Anyway, back to this. So this is what I do. I do like a good dry, kind of a dusty amber, which this totally is. But I want to wear it this time of year. So during the winter, not that I really succumb to all of that, but some of the spicy ambers, which this one is, it's a spicy, dry, kind of dirty amber, I want to say, but not butt stinky kind of amber. This is dirty as far as the earth goes, you know, old wood kind of amber. But anyway, I want to wear it this time of year. So what I did today, actually, was I sprayed this on me, on my skin, and then I took this, and this for me is one that I don't wear too often anymore because it's so sweet, and I did a thing on it several videos back, but this is Jean Paul Gaultier's 2. Oh, you can't see that. There, you kind of can. Anyway, this one is a really sweet amber. Really sweet. Kind of an intense orangey vanilla amber. And this is a dry, dusty amber. So I sprayed this one on my skin, and then I took this one and sprayed it up in the air, and then just did like this and just swept my arm through it. Oh, and it just is giving it this delicious, just hint of sweetness, just taking an edge off the dryness. Just a little cut off of that dusty kind of smell, and giving it just a twinge of sweet. And then this, what this has done for this is just unbelievable. It has made it sexy and not cloying, and something really sweet but yet sophisticated, because it's a little too much for me by itself these days. But the two together are divine. I don't even think I've told you what's in this yet. All right, and this one, it was launched in 03. Let me get it right. Fragrance features vodka, rum. Well, that's why it smells a little boozy when you first start. Incense, coriander, cinnamon. Definitely smell the cinnamon. That's, I think, what kind of makes it dry. And then vanilla and tea, and the tea as well. Amber, honey, and leather. And it does. It smells like a kind of a sweet, ambery, old leather. God, I do not make things smell or sound very good on how they smell, but it really does. It is worth a sniff if you, it's kind of a gothic amber. Which I love those gothic smells. So, anywho, that's it for those two. Habanita by Molinard and Ambre Russe by Parfum D Empire, which I mix with Jean-Paul Gaultier's Gaultier Part 2 or squared or whatever it is. So I will be back with part 13 of my niche and part 16 of my regular fragrances here. And I have another couple of special editions coming up. One is going to be on a really fabulous fragrance called Spiritus that my new friend J Love is really dying for me to do a review on. I went and I had a sample because it's spendy, and I had a sample and I loved it so much I just used it all up. And so now I ordered a little bigger sample so I can come back and actually do a review on it because I gobbled it up. I just sucked it up and it was gone. So I got a little bigger sample coming so I can do a thing just on that, and then I'm going to have to save up for that bottle. Whew. Anywho, but it's fabulous. It is the creme de la creme of vanilla fragrances. But that's neither here nor there. That's coming up later. And so I just want to tell you, I hope you have a great day, and peace.